let the story be sung. Voices of the past, keep the future young. Stand together, we rise as one. Black Muslim strong till the work is done. Love broke chains with a voice so pure. Call to the prayers, faith was sure. The first black Muslim to stand so tall. His courage and strength still inspire us all. 1040 rows with a scholar's hand, teaching the dean across the land. Built a community, schools of life. Africa's flame still burning bright. Malcolm X spoke truth to the crowd. Fearless and firm, his voice was loud. From Harlem to Mecca, his vision grew. Justice, respect in the world made new. Imam Jamil behind the bars, still teaching faith like the brightest stars. A leader of strength, a fighter for peace. He showed us the way, the struggle won't cease. Daughter of scholars, a teacher, a queen. She built the women with knowledge and dreams. Black Muslim sister, her wisdom was wide. God in the Ummah with honor and pride. Timbuktu shine where libraries grand. Black Muslim knowledge across the land. Golden pages, wisdom stored. Faith and science in one accord. We need our own to build and grow. A place for the children, seed of soul. One community standing tall. Together united, we won't let faith let the story be sung. Voices of the past, keep the future young. Stand together, we rise as one. Black Muslim strong till the work is done.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another edition of Muslim African American Heritage Month series.
Right.
What we're going to be doing today is talking about a very personal project. It's called the Deentown USA. And what Deentown is, let's pull up that presentation. So Deentown comes as a community initiative where we pray, live, work, and play, inspired by Imam W.D. Muhammad's vision of New Africa. Next slide. So what we want to do is see if we can get these slides. So Deentown is a faith-based community development initiative located in East Point, Georgia, just minutes from downtown Atlanta and Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, inspired by the vision of Imam W.D. Muhammad. Deentown seeks to establish a model community where Muslim African Americans can pray, live, work, and play in harmony. The initiative focuses on creating affordable housing, supporting local Muslim-owned businesses, and developing spaces for worship, education, and community life, all rooted in Islamic principles of justice, unity, and self-determination. The mission of Deentown is to build a sustainable and self-reliant neighborhood that reflects the family values and inspirations of Muslim African Americans who follow the leadership of Imam W.D. Muhammad. Now, you may be saying, why just Black Muslims? Well, we are the only people on earth that does not have a community. So I think it's time for us to have a community, a place we can call our own. By combining spiritual life with social and economic development, Deentown aims to revitalize East Point through entrepreneurship, cooperative housing, and educational programs. This initiative envisions a thriving, inclusive environment that strengthens families, empower residents, and serve as a national model for Muslim-led urban renewal. Now, the core values is first, family-rooted community guided by Islamic values and the language of Imam W.D. Muhammad, but of course the Quran and Sunnah. Economic empowerment, supporting Muslims, African Americans own small businesses. We invite other businesses as well. Affordability and inclusion, ensuring access for all income levels. All Muslims are invited to live, shop, and visit. The leadership and culture is Muslim African American, following the leadership of Imam W.D. Muhammad. So all people are invited, but we want to keep the leadership and the culture.
Trying to get people to sign a petition. We were trying to move 5,000 black people in Divider.
No, we don't want to sign no paperwork that you moving no in here.
What did you just say?
I did not do that. See, that's how technology works. Jen, take over. All right. Education and civic engagement, promoting lifelong learning and leadership from the leadership of Imam Dev D. Muhammad. Sustainability, fostering a clean, safe, and walkable environment, neighborhood. And the goals objective, develop mixed use housing, community spaces in East Point, Georgia. So we want to construct buildings, but as we construct, we want to go ahead and purchase existing buildings for sale and for rent. Launch a small business incubator and create local employment opportunities. Establish a community create center for prayer, education, and social events later down the road. Foster interfaith partnerships and civic participation. Now, the community center should be for other events as well. So no, Juma is not going to be a masjid. It's just a community center because you can go to Juma anywhere in America, Atlanta. Serve as a model for Muslim-led community development nationwide and internationally. Now, here we're going to be following the Medina model of Medina Munawwara, the Prophet city. So this is a historic picture of that city. When it first started, he let the camel come and find the location of the masjid. But if you see on this right side, it also was his home where he lived. So we want to establish housing. Then all that other goods that you know of Medina today will follow. So you have the masjid in the center still. Then you have the commercial. You have the home housing. Have the businesses. And then this is right here. You know what this is? This is the cemetery where all the Sahabas are buried. So we want to also have a cemetery for that end of life. Okay, so this is East Point, same kind of area, close to Atlanta, like the Prophet town was close to Medina. Had a established government, established way of life. Come in, it has the housing, it has the downtown area, it has vacant lots and vacant buildings needed for businesses and homes. It has empty lots that can be developed. So it's a very ripe area for Deentown. Now, inshallah, in the future, Deentown will be in every city or major capital all over the world in America. So Deentown, like you have Chinatown, New York, you have Chinatown, San Francisco, Chinatown everywhere, you'll have a Deentown, inshallah. So in the future, it'll be Deentown. So when you get off the plane, you land in the city, you'll say, take me to Deentown. And they'll know what part of town that is where Muslims reside. African-American Muslims and others, and then you'll be able to have halal dinner or get a halal Airbnb or go to a halal show or hang out at the halal lounge and not have to worry about haram. And inshallah, everything in that area will be halal and governed by the community. All right, so I created a new ebook, wrote a new ebook called Guide to Building a Muslim Community that outlines all the steps that we need to take. Deentown, pray, live, work, and play. Muslim. Inshallah, he's $4.99. You can send Cash App or Zelle and send a request to my email, and I'll send you the book, and you can just pay for the book on the honor system, inshallah. All right, so what we want to do now is go to Google Earth and fly around Deentown, future Deentown, so I can show you some of the features and why I think it's the best area for development in Atlanta, because there's no other area inside the perimeter that's quite like East Point. It's still underdeveloped, still have affordable housing, still have areas, businesses bordered up that we can buy as community, still has, a downtown area that can be shaped, and we can, fill it with halal businesses. Still has a lot of, hold on. Still has a lot of area in the area that can serve as a very good incubator for the Muslim community. Now, as far as masjids, we're not competing with any masjids. There's Masjid Ikhlas within Deentown. There's Masjid Baina that's maybe about 5 minutes away in College Park, East Town border. There's Atlanta Masjid that's probably 20 minutes away. Mu'minun that's probably 15 minutes away. Masjid Ashura, Masjid An-Nur, Masjid Al-Quran. So there's plenty of masjids. You can go to masjid wherever you want as a Deentown resident, but you want to come home or to your business, come back to the Deentown community. Allah knows best, so it's not competing with any of the masjids, inshallah. Right? Go ahead and start this. So right now, East Point is a more African American community. Been around a long time, not far from the airport, like 5 minutes. Has some businesses and some industry in that area. And you'll be able to see the area shortly. So this is East Point. They call it, it's really in the west. That's why I don't know why they call it East Point, but it's in the west. Let's zoom down to the downtown area. Okay, let's go ahead and look downtown. So you can see the downtown area. This is the MARTA station, run right through it. That makes it very convenient for people to be able to see how small businesses, you can always buy these, rent these businesses and be able to open, say, a halal bakery or a halal restaurant, or even a Royal Plaza of halal restaurant. It's still very much undeveloped and calling for development. So inshallah, we'll be the people who develop the area. And then mostly in the other area that you have, it's more housing to the left, to the west of it. All you really have is a bunch of housing. You have Washington Street that have some businesses. A lot of these has vacant lands. And then at the north, you have a mall called Greenbrier Mall and Campbellton Road that has a whole lot of businesses that Muslims can develop that area as well. So it's a very, very good, I think it's a very good opportunity for Muslims to find a piece of land, Muslim African Americans, and finish the story that we've been on for the past, 400 plus years. Inshallah. He also has industries to the right. So if we want to build some Muslim factories to build some type of, businesses, it has that opportunity too. You have Microsoft building a data center, so that's employment. The airport is employment. And then a lot of businesses in this area, so you have employment for working class people. Campbellton Road, you have a whole lot of opportunity to put businesses. So that's East Point, the future Deentown, inshallah. We invite people to come. If we go to Zillow.com, you'll see the housing affordability in East Point. Let's do that. You also have a realtor company called EXP. So if you go to EXP Realty, you'll also see some houses for sale and for rent. You just type in East Point and they'll show you. You have houses anywhere from 150 to as high as you want it in the area. $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 houses. You also have businesses in there. So if you don't, you want commercial, you want to find a business for your organization or your business, you just go to the commercial websites and you'll be able to find that same information. This computer is so slow. Let's do for sale. I don't really do for sale that much because of Reba, but we can look at the houses for sale in East Point. So we invite everybody to come to East Point. They see you still have $87,000 house. Come on, where you gonna find that? Where are you gonna find that anywhere in Atlanta, inside the perimeter? Nowhere. 87,000. Then you can get high as 585,000. Or you can find something for like 100,000. I bet you'll find one for 100,000. 250. There go another 89,000. Where are you gonna find a house inside the perimeter for 89,000? Nowhere. But East Point is still ripe. 124, a nice 2 bedroom, 1 bath. Okay, you got a bigger family. Let's see. Here's a 3 bedroom, 1 bath. You might can add another bath to that particular house, and you have the house you need. And they're not bad houses either. I mean, they're older houses. Some of them they have newer houses too. Look at this one for 285. So it's a ripe area for us to develop as Muslim Americans, Muslim African Americans. We take over because right now the community is all spread it out and all over the place, and we need to be able to come into one area and to be able to develop that area. So I really feel Deentown is the area. Now you can't afford to buy a house yet. Okay, let's go for rent and see what we can find. 1,400, 1,300. Look at this apartment for 1,000, 1 bedroom though. So his apartment for 1,100 for but if you, for a 3 bedroom, 162. Anywhere else that'll be like 2,000, 2,500. So it's a room, and it's not bad apartments. These are decent apartments. Look at this house, 1,450. That's decent for a 3 bedroom, 2 bedroom. So I still think this area has it. It's not going to be like this for long. The whole area in Atlanta is being gentrified, and they're pushing African Americans out into the suburbs. You have to commute into that crazy traffic, pushing people out the south, Stone Mountain and Conyers and all these places. Then got to commute in and deal with the traffic. But here in East Point, if you come into East Point and you work downtown, you have like a 15-minute commute, 20-minute commute if you take the back roads. Take 75, 85, you might have a 2-hour commute because it's always backed up. But there's roads, there's marriages through fairs. Look at this one, 3 bedroom, 1 bath. You add a bath. You ask them to add a bath or not, 1,500. If you have little kids, I mean, you might not need another bath, but if you have adult kids, you want another bath. Here's one for 825 studio. So my point is, it's a prime area for development. Prime area for us to get a piece of art, because we are the only people, Muslim African Americans who follow Imam Muhammad and maybe the nation. We're the only two people that don't have like a neighborhood. I know in about maybe 1970s when Imam Muhammad died or was dying, they were planning on building a community on the south side of Chicago. I have a video of that. They were planning to build a community on the south side of Chicago, but he passed away and that plan stopped. Look at that, $250 a month. That can't be right. That must be an error. Oh, it might be an apartment that's on that building. That's a good deal for somebody. $250 a month. But anyway, yeah. So we're the only people that don't have a community. If I ask you what people are in Midtown, you might say, "Oh yeah, I know it's in Midtown." Okay, what people are in Buckhead? Oh, Buckhead is associated with Caucasian upper class. Okay, what people are in Brookhaven? What people are in the West Side over there where the Latinos live? Everywhere I look, they probably even got a Jamaica town, and they do have a Somaliville, where all the Somalians is over there in Clarkston. You go over there, they have their businesses, they have their homes, they have their area, the land, they have their land planted. Even though they just got here, maybe what 10, 15 years ago when they had that problem and they got refugees. If I ask you to go to even I tell you go to West End, most some Muslims are living over there, Jalil Alameen community, but not many more. If I tell you go Avondale Estates, it. Everybody has their community, but where is our Chinatown? Where is our Deentown? So I'm calling it East Point. East Point will be our Deentown East show. Okay, so and we saw the video about Islamabad up in New York. Those weren't people following Imam Muhammad, but they trying to form a community. The only problem is they way out in the mountains. That's not really the model. Like I showed before, the model is to be into a city that was already established, like Medina. That's the Sunnah. That's the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. His model. He came to a city. He wasn't out in the middle of a desert. He came to a city that was already established and he built Medina. Let me show it to you again. computer's so slow, but okay. So he already established the community, right? It was already established, and he made end up coming and then attracting more people, and more people became Muslim, and then they had treaties and they had government. They even asked him to be the governor of the city, right? They asked him to be the governor of the city, and then it's just over time, which will it take? Over time, you become, you know, a city. New York, New York started out not as New York, as we know now. There's a video out there now making fun of it, how it started, and they just did not plan it properly. But it was a city just of woods, and some explorers came and said, "Oh, this is a nice island. Let's make this island a town." And it just started building and building and building until you have what's today is New York City. And really, that's the model of all towns. They don't just become towns overnight. It takes several years. So if we get started now, think about the Deentown 2075. When we're long gone, Allah knows best, but we'll be long gone. But our children's children may live together and play together, pray together, work together, inshallah. So we always want to keep that in mind when we're planting. That if you plant a seed today, a tree, say an apple tree seed, that seed, you might never ever get an apple off that tree, right? You may never see an apple. You might, but you might not. But you're planting that tree or trees because you know one day your grandchildren may pick off that tree and eat fruit. So if you develop a seed today or community today, you might not get to, enjoy all of the fruits of the community you set. But then if your kids would stay there and their kids stay there, then they'll see the place grow. Because every time I used to, you go to a college or a high school or whatever, and you see the development they made for that high school. You see that, wait, y'all have a lot more amenities. Y'all have a new stadium. Y'all have a new dormitory. You have all these things. We didn't have those. So, we were the class of, 20 years from now, they're not going to have the same amenities. I hope. That would be sad if they did. It's going to change. I mean, I used to live in Atlanta, came back to Atlanta after maybe 10, 15 years, and it's changed a whole lot, especially Midtown, where I used to work up there, planning out that city, the Midtown, to see what happened. Now you go there, it's a beautiful town, Midtown Lights, right? Midtown, Atlanta. You go down to East Point, or you go down to East Atlanta, or you go down, right? You're looking for a house to rent 3,000 a month. It's just outpriced Atlanta, Massachusetts, and the community and the people in there. Now, the people that's wealthy that have money, they may be able to purchase a home over there. The problem is, it's being squeezed out from from the gentrification. So 20 years from now, they're gonna offer the community like 1.5 million for that lot, that corner lot, and then they're gonna have to move. But where are you gonna be able to move in Atlanta? You're not. You're gonna have to move out somewhere. So in Atlanta, Michigan might be out in Stone Mountain or somewhere. I don't know. That's what I'm envisioning. I mean, I've done my education at Georgia Tech, doing city planning, community development. Praise be to Allah. And so I got an eye for development, and I see what's happening. So I'm not knocking it. I think it's great what they're doing there, but they have to have a long-term plan. Because I actually did the first plan, alhamdulillah, for East Atlanta. Show them like buy the houses that's in the area, build up that area, but nobody budged on it. So inshallah, East Point is my last time to like stress the people to move in the area. Let's build a town and call it Deentown or whatever. Maybe everybody don't like Deentown. I'm not stuck on that. I just come from Imam W. Deen Muhammad. Deen means religion. It makes sense to me. It's a word my wife come up with, and it's wonderful. I thought it was a great name. I don't want to use New Africa because of the association people might have with it, which is, it's already a uphill battle. So I'm not using New Africa. But inshallah, Deentown, it's pretty good. I mean, like Jamaican town, All right, so we're gonna my PowerPoint not opening, the technology's not working. Anyway, we're gonna open up the floor for discussion, and then we can close out. around 8 o'clock. And, you know,